Imagine you're sitting on your couch, scrolling through Netflix. The home screen flashes with options, thrillers, comedies, epic documentaries. You've probably spent hours there before, haven't you? But have you ever stopped to wonder, how did this all begin? Netflix wasn't always the giant we know today. In fact, it started as a tiny idea sparked by a simple late fee. What you're about to hear isn't just a story of technology or business, it's a tale of risk, reinvention, and revolution. So stick around, because by the time we're done, you'll never look at Netflix the same way again. Netflix didn't emerge overnight. There were no guarantees that this ambitious venture would succeed, and yet it transformed the way we consume media. From its humble beginnings to becoming the global streaming leader, Netflix's story is one of bold decisions, clever pivots, and relentless innovation. It's a journey that shows how one small idea can ripple out to change the world. And as we dive in, you'll find that even the most groundbreaking companies often come from the simplest inspirations. What's remarkable about Netflix's rise isn't just the technological advancements or the groundbreaking shows, it's the sheer tenacity of the people behind it. We'll explore the pivotal moments, the risks they took, and the lessons they learned along the way. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a tech enthusiast, or just a curious viewer, there's something in this story that resonates. So, sit back and let's journey together through the fascinating evolution of Netflix. Before Netflix was a streaming empire, it was just a crazy idea dreamed up by Mark Randolph. Mark wasn't a Silicon Valley mogul. He didn't have millions of dollars or a perfect plan. He was just a regular guy who loved solving problems. Mark grew up in New York, and from a young age, he watched his father meticulously craft miniature train models. Every detail mattered. It was a lesson in patience, precision, and creativity that stuck with him for life. But Mark's early career path was anything but glamorous. He studied geology, and his first job was selling real estate with his mom. Let's just say, it wasn't his calling. Mark later moved on to a mail-order business selling music sheets. That's when the first spark ignited. It wasn't about DVDs yet. It was about how mail-order businesses worked, delivering convenience directly to the customer. Mark didn't realize it at the time, but those early experiences were shaping the foundation of what would become Netflix. Mark's initial ventures may not have been glamorous, but they gave him a taste for how powerful the combination of creativity and business could be. As he started looking for his next big move, he carried with him a drive to create something meaningful, something people would truly need and use. The challenge was finding the right idea, the spark that would light the fire. Mark's journey wasn't without its hiccups. He tried and failed at several projects, each time learning valuable lessons about what worked and what didn't. Every failure sharpened his instincts, and he became more attuned to recognizing opportunities that others overlooked. But Mark wasn't just chasing a paycheck. He genuinely loved the process of building and creating. Whether it was working on marketing campaigns or tinkering with mail-order logistics, he found joy in solving problems and crafting solutions. This mindset would prove crucial as he eventually teamed up with a partner who shared his passion for innovation. Through these experiences, Mark discovered something profound: success isn't always about being the smartest person in the room. It's about persistence, curiosity, and the willingness to learn from failure. These qualities became the bedrock of his entrepreneurial journey and set the stage for the next chapter in his life, a chapter that would change not only his future but the future of entertainment itself. Then Mark met Reed Hastings. Reed was a former Marine and a Silicon Valley veteran who had just sold his software company for a whopping $750 million. Reed was analytical, strategic, the perfect balance to Mark's creativity. The idea started small: what if we mailed DVDs to people instead of making them go to a rental store? Back then, Blockbuster ruled. Renting movies meant driving to a store, choosing a VHS tape, and making sure you returned it on time, or else you'd get hit with a late fee. DVDs, on the other hand, were smaller, lighter, and brand new in the market. Mark thought, why not mail them? But they had to test it first. Mark sent a music CD in an envelope through the mail to Reed's house. When it arrived in perfect condition, they knew they had a chance. That small test set everything in motion. It wasn't about creating a blockbuster at the start, it was about seeing if the idea could work. Reed wasn't immediately sold. He liked the concept, but he wanted data, proof that people would actually adopt this new model. That's when Mark's persistent brainstorming and creative problem-solving shone. He convinced Reed that the risk was worth taking, and together, they laid the foundation for what would become Netflix. In those early days, it wasn't just about the idea, it was about the execution. Mark and Reed had to navigate a rapidly changing technological landscape. DVD players were still relatively new, and many households didn't even own one. They knew they were betting on a technology that wasn't yet mainstream, but they also believed that it was the future. They also faced the challenge of building a user-friendly website in an era when e-commerce was still in its infancy. The site had to be simple, intuitive, and fast. People needed to trust that they could order a movie online and have it show up at their door without any hassle. Mark and Reed focused on every detail, from the design of the envelope to the process of selecting and shipping DVDs. They knew that every positive experience would bring them closer to building a loyal customer base. But it wasn't just about technology. Mark and Reed spent countless hours debating business models. Should they charge per rental? Offer monthly subscriptions? What price point would attract users without putting them in the red? These decisions weren't made lightly. They tested and iterated, constantly refining their approach based on customer feedback and data. It was this relentless commitment to improvement that helped Netflix gain traction in those critical early years. Their partnership was also a key factor in their success. Mark and Reed complemented each other's strengths. Mark's creativity and marketing instincts paired perfectly with Reed's analytical mindset and experience in scaling businesses. Together, they formed a dynamic duo that could tackle challenges from multiple angles. It was this synergy that allowed them to weather the uncertainties of a startup and lay the groundwork for what Netflix would eventually become. Netflix's technology doesn't just support streaming, it's the backbone of everything the company does. They invested in a recommendation engine that transformed how people discover new shows. When you finish watching Stranger Things and the platform suggests the OA, it's not just guessing, it's leveraging massive amounts of data. Every interaction, from pausing a show to binge-watching an entire season in one sitting, feeds Netflix's algorithm. This AI-powered engine doesn't just help users find something to watch, it drives engagement, increases viewing hours, and even informs the kinds of original content Netflix creates. But the innovation doesn't stop there. Netflix pioneered adaptive streaming technology, meaning they could deliver high-definition content over unreliable connections. If a user's internet slowed down, Netflix would automatically adjust the video quality on the fly. This ensured that subscribers rarely faced interruptions, which was a game-changer in the early days of streaming. No buffering, no waiting, just a seamless experience. Netflix also ventured into building its own content delivery network, called Open Connect. Instead of relying solely on third-party internet providers, they strategically placed servers around the world to store and deliver their most popular titles. This made streaming faster, more reliable, and more cost-effective. It also helped Netflix control the quality of its service, ensuring that subscribers could watch House of Cards or Squid Game without interruptions. On the production side, Netflix used technology to streamline filmmaking. They adopted 4K and HDR standards before many traditional studios, setting a high bar for visual quality. They also leaned heavily on data-driven insights to guide greenlighting decisions. For example, they could see that viewers were hungry for crime dramas, prompting them to invest in projects like Narcos. When viewers in certain regions showed an affinity for specific genres, Netflix started producing content tailored to those tastes, leading to hits like Money Heist in Spain and Sacred Games in India. Netflix's technological innovations didn't just improve the user experience, they helped redefine the entire streaming industry. By making high-quality content available anywhere, anytime, Netflix set a new standard. Competitors like Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and HBO Max had to step up their game, investing in their own technology to keep pace. But Netflix's head start and relentless focus on improving every aspect of its technology kept it at the forefront of the streaming wars. If you're finding these insights helpful, give us a follow. We have plenty more stories to share. Behind all of this was something most people never see: Netflix's technology. Their AI-driven recommendation engine became legendary. It didn't just suggest what you might like, it studied your every click, every pause, and every binge. Netflix's algorithm wasn't just guessing, it was learning. It knew you so well it could keep you watching for hours. And their streaming technology? Netflix pioneered adaptive streaming. If your internet was fast, you'd get HD. If it slowed down, Netflix would drop the quality so you never saw a buffering wheel. That smooth experience is why millions of people never left. Netflix's tech innovations weren't just about keeping the service running smoothly. They were about making the experience as seamless and personalized as possible. By investing in AI and cutting-edge streaming infrastructure, Netflix set a new standard for the entire industry. The platform didn't just adapt to trends, it created them. Their focus on technology also extended behind the scenes. Netflix's engineers worked tirelessly to improve compression algorithms, ensuring that video quality remained high even on slower internet connections. They developed proprietary systems that made their servers more efficient, reducing downtime and improving. Fast forward a few years. DVDs were working. People loved renting online, and Netflix was growing fast. But Mark and Reed could see the writing on the wall. The future wasn't in physical discs, it was in streaming. By 2007, streaming technology was improving. Internet speeds were getting faster, and people were watching more video content online. Netflix started experimenting with streaming, and customers loved it. They no longer had to wait for a DVD to arrive. They could just click play. But Netflix wasn't alone. Hulu launched. Amazon Prime Video started making moves. Even Disney began planning its own streaming service. The competition was fierce, and Netflix needed a way to stand out. In those early streaming days, Netflix faced technical challenges and skepticism from investors. Could streaming actually deliver the same quality and reliability as DVDs? What about content rights? Would studios agree to let Netflix stream their movies? The road to streaming dominance wasn't smooth, but Netflix kept pushing forward. They invested heavily in better servers, optimized video compression, and negotiated tirelessly with studios. Netflix's journey into streaming wasn't just a shift in technology, it was a shift in how people consumed media. They had to educate their audience on this new way of watching movies and shows. Over time, the convenience of streaming won people over, and Netflix began to pull ahead in the streaming race. As streaming became more popular, Netflix didn't rest on its laurels. They continued to innovate, adding new features that enhanced the user experience. Personalized recommendations, curated playlists, and a sleek interface all made it easier for subscribers to find and enjoy content. They also invested heavily in content delivery networks, ensuring that streaming was smooth and reliable even during peak hours. These technological advances solidified Netflix's reputation as a leader in streaming. Meanwhile, the competition was ramping up. Hulu introduced next-day streaming for TV shows, while Amazon Prime Video bundled streaming with its existing e-commerce subscription service. New entrants like Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus brought even more premium content to the market. Yet, Netflix managed to stay ahead by consistently delivering what viewers wanted: variety, quality, and convenience. The shift to streaming also opened up new possibilities for how content was distributed and consumed. Netflix began experimenting with releasing entire seasons at once, allowing viewers to binge-watch shows on their own schedule. This approach not only changed viewing habits but also influenced how other networks and platforms released their content. Binge-watching became a cultural phenomenon, and Netflix was at the forefront of this movement. If you're enjoying this behind-the-scenes look, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us create more deep dives like this. Enter original content. Netflix didn't want to just license movies from studios. They wanted to own their content. In 2013, they made a bold move. They invested $100 million in a single show without even making a pilot. That show was House of Cards. House of Cards was a smash hit. People binge-watched the entire season in one weekend. And just like that, Netflix had created a whole new way to consume TV. No more waiting week after week for a new episode, now you could watch it all at once. After House of Cards, Netflix doubled down. They created Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, The Crown, and many more. Some were hits. Some were flops. But the ones that hit? They changed the game. Netflix wasn't just a streaming service anymore. They were a studio, a production house, a creator of global phenomena. Netflix's original content strategy allowed them to break free from the traditional TV model. They weren't constrained by broadcast schedules or limited time slots. They could take creative risks, support diverse storytelling, and produce shows that traditional networks might have passed on. This approach didn't just bring them critical acclaim, it brought them a global audience. Netflix didn't stop at scripted series. They also began producing documentaries, stand-up specials, and even feature-length films. By diversifying their content, they ensured that there was something for everyone. This all-in approach made Netflix the go-to platform for original, high-quality entertainment. Netflix's venture into original programming was more than a business move, it was a cultural shift. It allowed for greater creative freedom and gave voices to underrepresented storytellers. Shows that might have been too risky or unconventional for traditional networks found a home on Netflix. As a result, viewers were exposed to fresh perspectives, diverse narratives, and innovative storytelling techniques. By taking risks on unique projects, Netflix created a sense of trust with its audience. People knew they could come to the platform for groundbreaking content that they couldn't find anywhere else. This reputation for originality and quality helped Netflix differentiate itself from competitors and solidify its position as a global leader in entertainment.